Hello everyone. In this brief basic tutorial, I will show you how to design your own multi-sided box of this type. We've got the three-sided box. Pretty cool. That one is a little bit more difficult. We've got the square box. I've got a video tutorial on this box on my channel. Look, the five-sided box, the Pentagon. Six-sided hexagon box. Yep, seven-sided box. There it is. Seven sides. And the eight-sided box. I just did a tutorial on that. So, I didn't do a 9 or 10 yet, but you can. You can. Let's do the five-sided. I haven't even hardly made these yet. I didn't even make the bottom. And let's show you how to make the top if you wanted to design your own. So what you do is the dollar is 156 centimeters across. And then vertical, it's 66 cm. These are almost right on. So based on those numbers, if you want to make a five-sided box, you've got to determine how wide the sides are going to be. So you get your calculator, and you need an extra flap on this type box. So you put in 156, and then you divide by 6 in this case, because we're going to make 6 equal flaps. And normally this is the bottom, but we're going to make it a top. So you're going to have to actually learn how to design your own a little bit from watching the other videos and see how to make one a little bit bigger or smaller. So that means that 26 centimeters is going to be the width of each side. Now we've got to determine the angle of the folding of these top pieces. So what you do on that is you know you have 26 wide millimeters on your panel. So I've got some graph paper here. Each square is 5 millimeters. So we're going to draw a vertical line on the graph paper. And that's like the left side of the dollar. And then this is going to be the top of the dollar going across. Just a representation. We don't need to draw the whole bill. So there's the top left corner of the dollar. Now, you've got to determine the angle of the folds. And so it turns out, well, we want 5 angles to make, not 360. That's wrong. 180 degrees. Or you can measure it differently, but this is how you can do it. Okay, so you've got 180 degrees. That's the same for all the boxes. Type in 180. And then you divide by 5 angles we want to make. Comes out to 36 degrees. So that's our angle. So now we've got to draw a 36-degree angle in the top here. So you need a little protractor. This little tiny cheapo one's good enough. And it's just, if you got to know how to work one, this one, you put the the little X in the center right there on your point. And then you turn it right here till it's at 36. There's the 30. That's 35, and then just a little bit past. So goes right there. Wait, it goes this way. Sorry about that. We want 36-degree angle from here to here. So we want 36 degrees from here to whatever that line is. And so now we turn it to 36, 35, plus a little bit more, 36. Line up our center dot right here. And so now we've got 36 degrees. And you just draw a little line. Now each panel we said was going to be 26 centimeters. And each one of these is 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And 1 millimeter past that. So that's right there. So now you have to draw another vertical line connecting these. So now you've got a little rectangle panel, 26 millimeters wide. It's about right there. So the shorter line is it, really. So now what you do from this point, you draw through your line of your angle over to here. And so now you measure down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and it really goes to 36 right here. 36 cm. So now what you do is you divide your bill into 6 panels, and then 36 millimeters is the amount of material you need to cover the top. So 35, 36, and your fold would be right there. So now, keeping that mark, so now we have 36 centimeters vertical, and then you would divide your bill into 6s, into 6. So you divide it in half, and then you already know from your math that each panel is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. So with a little ruler like these, you can just slide it over to 26 and make a mark right there. Fold that in. And you want to do all the folds the same direction if you can. So we're going to reverse that one. But these are all 26. Or you can divide each side into thirds with the S method if you want. So this one we're really going to reverse. Yeah, I think it was right about there, but we'll just check it anyway. I mean, we want the little demo to come out decent enough, right? So it's a little bit off. but that's fine. So then you can put this crease to the center crease and line up those points. Flip it over, line up those 2 points. So now you've got your 3 pieces over here. And line up the center with this one. See, that one's right there. Line that up. Line that up. Because we're just going through this real quick. So now you've got your 6 pieces. And somewhere we measured 36. It was right here. 36. Just to check it again. It's a little bit off. Well, every time you fold the dollar, you lose a little bit of material. So when it's like this, it's 66. It's almost 67. But then if you measure from here to here, you know, that's 35. And the other piece is 32. So we didn't really lose any yet. But anyway, it seems like it does when you do it. So then you crease that down. Watch the square box tutorial or the origami 2-piece box to see how you fold if you have any questions. Now this is the sides of the box, and you don't want this to be the edge of the box. It's just too flimsy. So you fold that in, and if it's going to be the top, you make it short, and if it's going to be the bottom, you make it longer. So I'm just going to make a little top of a box here. So I'm folding that in all the way to the crease because we're demonstrating the method of designing your own. Like you can try to make a 9-sided box after you learn how to do it. We're doing a 5, and I just did it this way, and it came out awesome. So then you do these little angle folds right here now. Excuse me. All right, so you do these little angle folds right here. And so that point is this crease mark point right here. And that point is the corner of the bill. And so you fold it all the way over till that makes a perfect little point. There we go. And make sure it goes right to that point. Crease it down. You can even, turn it upside down and embed that fold good. And then you do the next one. So, you need some intermediate origami skills to do this. But if you can fold some decent stuff, you can design your own box like this. And that's going all the way. Here's the straight crease is right here. And so we're going all the way to that point. And that's the technique for all the boxes I just showed in the beginning. So, and you can change it up after you learn how to make it. And you don't have to make the top this big later. Maybe we'll make some videos on that later on. Let's see, it's starting to be a pentagon shape. On the pentagon, the top sticks out across the edge. So making it shorter would be a neat thing to learn on this one. But this is the basic principle for all those boxes I showed. Now that one you can tell right where that point is because the paper stopped folding. And then you've got this one. Keep this nice and flat. Whoops. Trying to slip out on me. All the way over to that point. Right there. And then the last one, you just fold over from point to point right here. So there you go. Now you just wrap this around, tuck one inside the other. Now when you really get to starting to make the bottom and the top, one's going to be shorter, and so you tuck the shorter one inside the full length side. And then it helps a little bit. I think if you use a little binder clip and hold that together. So now this flap lines up with that one on that angle. You've got your pentagon shape, and the horizontal lines, the vertical lines that you folded to divide the paper into 6 pieces remain mountain folds, and the angle ones are the valley folds, and you just twist it on together and down, and there is your box. The different ones are a little bit harder. I think the square one's about the easiest, and this one's fairly good. You can even leave the top like that. That is a cool design for the Pentagon one. Or you could just fold these points under these little sides. Make sure it's how you want to keep it. And what I learned now is you start at the edge of the paper one. So that's this one. The edge of the paper, you fold that point under first. And it's not very deep of a fold. Keep your finger under the bottom. Or you can use a tool to fold it. If you have one of these rulers, I'll show you how to crease it down really well. And you go to the next point, fold it under the next flap. And so on all 5 points. And that's a real simple way to actually design your own box, because you get to decide how tall, and after you make several of them, you'll realize you can make this longer or shorter too, giving you more flexibility in the height of the box. And so now I've got them all tucked in, and it makes its own little pentagon on the top. That one came out a little bit. Now what you do, with if you get one of these, you get a little flat tool. Definitely, an origami folding bone, I'm sure, comes in handy. I'm going to have to try one of those out. But you can stick it under there. And now you got something really solid to pinch these folds on. And there you go. So I hope you liked the tutorial about the basic design instructions for making your own little design. It's just this simple math to make all these different kinds of boxes. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.